talk to you guys about the reunion just because there wasn't much that happened. Of course, the queens had beefs or whatever. It happens every season. The only thing I would say, one, is that Raja is hilarious. I wish you would have got more of her hilarity on the season because she just had me rolling the whole time. Because every time Ru asked her a question, she would be like, well, actually, I meant that. And another thing I would say is that I wish that the queens wore the looks that they wore on the reunion at the grand finale, which is why I think that the show pays for the hair, makeup, and the outfits on the reunion. I think that the grand finale is just on the queens' coins and the reunion is on the show because they just look so much more elevated at the reunion than they did at the actual grand finale. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. So first of all, I was so blessed to have the opportunity to come to the reunion, to the grand finale of Rupaul's Drag Race Season 11 as a guest of production. I was able to go 2 years ago, but I actually bought my ticket. And this time, I know people. Somebody in production actually blessed me with the ticket, and I so appreciate it because I had great seats, much better seats than what I had last time. Right up there in the front, but I was on the side where they were like filming mostly. So all the celebrity guests were sitting on the right front side of the stadium theater, and then the middle section was all drag queens. Like, it was so sparkly and beautiful over there. I just was in heaven. And then my side was production, family, all of that. And so I had a really great time. I was really, really thankful and just beyond words. It was such a wonderful thing to be a part of. It really, really was. Ru was a great host, phenomenal comedian. Like, even when the cameras were down, she had us rolling. The show ran like a well-oiled machine. We had some downtime, but not too much. Like, we were in and we were out. It was so much love and just community in that room. I'll never forget it, and I hope to be able to go back next year. We will see. I will keep you guys posted. Anyway, all my warm heart, love, and thankfulness aside, let's get into this review. Soju got skin tea, okay? I don't know if you guys actually saw on TV how skinny she is, but guys, Soju is a good 4, and that's me pushing the line, because she was giving me 0. Maybe when she was cinched, Soju was cinched, okay? Soju was skin tea. The only problem that I had with her outfit is that she had cups, like this dress, she was cinched in the waist, and then the dress volumed up, but it was empty right here. Like, she didn't have any boobs, she didn't have anything to fill it out. And I'm like, if you're going to go with a dress like that, put something in there to fill it out, because it was casting a shadow the entire time, especially when she walked, because there was nothing in there. There was no boobs in the cups, so it just didn't look right. But overall, all the queens look great, and I was really proud of Soju because she really upgraded herself at the grand finale. She looked great. Sis, what's the workout regimen? Because you look nice. And she wasn't even like buff like that, but you can tell that she was doing some kind of Pilates. Mother was sculpted. Honey Davenport, I think that they used the same audio audience reaction for all of the queens when they walked out, because Honey Davenport, when she walked out, you would have thought it was Rupaul. She has such a huge fan base. People were screaming. All of these fans was in the audience, waving their fans. Like, it was a scene for Honey Davenport. I'm only saying that as somebody who was shocked because I did not know about her fandom in New York. Like, I knew that she was big in New York, but I didn't know that she was big on like an international scale like this, because when she walked out, I was like, are we going up for Honey? But they didn't show that on the show, so I'm thinking they recycled audio, because there were a few other queens that did not get that same response. Mercedes wasn't one of them. First of all, loved her outfit on camera. In person, it didn't look as grand as it did on camera, but in person, it was just like, oh, okay. But on camera, gorgeous, right? When she walked out, everybody was like, opulence! Like, just screaming opulence. They took that out. I don't know, they should have kept that in. At least keep that in for Mercedes, somebody who has been feeling insecure this entire journey. I would have loved for them to have kept the reaction from the audience and for her, but she was there, so she felt it in person. That's all that matters. Also, really went up for Ariel Versace. She looked great. I love the dress. There was no signature wig anywhere in sight. Growth. And this moment right here confirmed for me that they were recycling audio, because when Scarlett walked out, huge response. So huge, she stayed out there a little bit longer because people just kept on screaming for her. And then right after her was Raja. Guys, I like Raja. Not a lot of y'all do, because when she walked out, freaking crickets. I think that's the reason why they recycled audio, because she was getting nothing. It was so bad that I was standing up like, just trying to give her something. Because to be honest with you, to come after Scarlett and see the audience reaction die down, that hurt me. And I wasn't even up there on that stage. So I was like clapping extra hard. But guys, yeah, Mother didn't get the same reaction. And in saying that, she was a constant professional. She didn't let it faze her. She just walked out, smiled, turned, went to the back. And also, sis, unclockable fish. Unclockable. She looked great. Even a dress. Like, I liked her look. I liked it. It was an elevated Raja for me. Right before Vangie walks out. So right after Raja, they stopped. I think this was before. Was this before? I think this was before. Or maybe they stopped. Did they stop after Raja? I'm not sure, but I know that before this segment, the stage manager came out and said, listen, we don't want you guys to have a moment that we can't contain. So we're going to tell you, because this show was filmed like 2.5 weeks in advance. They said, we're going to tell you that one of the queens was already eliminated, because you haven't watched the last episode, because it hasn't even been aired yet. We were like, oh my goodness, everybody's thinking it's Akaria. Ciao! When that stage manager said it was Miss Vangie, like, they were being so dramatic in there. There were screams, people were spinning around like, like ballistic. So much to the point where she knew she couldn't calm everybody down, so she just waited. She waited. And after it died down a bit, she was just like, okay, so that's why we told y'all that, because we did not want to have that filmed, okay? We didn't want to film that. So we wanted to let you guys know so you can have your reaction now, so that when all the queens walk out, we can just, give the celebratory clap and, just the thankfulness of all the queens who have, been on this season and have given us a great season. Just had to let you guys know so that we can have some kind of order here. And I'm so glad she did that, because the way everybody acted in that theater, even I had to catch myself. I was like, okay, I think I just got caught up in the dramatics, because everybody was like, Vangie, right? But I was still heartbroken because I was always rooting for her. Anyway, so everybody respected that, right? Y'all, Vangie walks out, screams, fans. I don't even know how to do it. Some dude was doing it so quick with his fan. It was craziness. People, so she got a standing ovation from the bottom rows on the theater all the way up to the balcony seats. They were standing and screaming her name. I lie to you not. They screamed her name for a good 4 minutes. And Vangie was so respectful. She was just eating it up, but she was eating it up in such a respectful way. She was like, oh, thank you guys. Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet. But they were like, Vangie, so much they had to pause and wait for everybody to stop and then go on to the next queen, because everybody was going crazy over her. And that's why I always said in my reviews, Vangie doesn't need a crown. She's already won this season so many times over. Ru comes out, and of course everybody's, mother! Gagged, craziness ensues, right? I will say this, Rupaul is a great host, and I really hope that his talk show does really well this summer. I will be checking in, because Rupaul is a great host, very funny, very likable, very entertaining, really connecting with the audience. Like, didn't give me stuffy or uppity. So I hear rumors, right? I hear a lot of things about Rupaul. I'm saying in the times that I have been close to Rupaul, I've never seen anything like that. This is the second reunion that I have been to, and and like, even when the cameras weren't rolling, Ru wasn't sitting there just waiting for the cameras to start rolling. Ru was talking to people, hugging people. Like, it was, I don't know, my experience thus far has not been what other people have experienced, but I respect that experience. You know what I mean? I get it. I've only seen Ru at work, to be quite honest with you. And I also know people who work on the show, and they don't tell me that. So I can only go off the information that I have been given and what I have seen. Ru is a great host. Very, very great host. And I think the show will be successful if Ru leads out like the way she was at the reunion. So generous, so kind, funny, just really keeping the audience up and going. It was a really nice moment. So anyway, she comes out. I said all that to say, Ru was amazing. I hated that dress. Hated it, guys. Great color on her. The color was a much deeper green on in person than it was. It looked like a lime green on camera, but it was a much deeper green, like a deep, not chartreuse. Just like a deep green. Not like forest green, but like a deep electric green. So she walks out and I'm just like, what is this? For the finale, I didn't like it. I would not have minded the color if it wasn't a different material. The material, this crushed velvet material, I didn't like it. I did not like it. But Ru comes out and she gets this grandioso, reception from the audience. And then she starts like her little banter and just does it flawlessly. She only had to redo a few takes. But I mean, with so much dialogue that she had, minimal mistakes. Very proud, great host. I will be tuning into our talk show. I hope it does well because she's good. She's really good. Oh my gosh, I just realized I did not tell you guys about Nina West. When Nina West walked out on that freaking stage, you would have thought that there was an earthquake going on. People went crazy for her. Absolutely crazy. I was like, Nina. And then when she turned around and had that reveal from the back, they were like, yes, queen, yes. Like, Nina has a huge family. She is very well loved. Very well loved. You know, who else had a good entrance that I was shocked about? I don't know why I was shocked about Nina. I knew she was loved, but the way they went up when she walked out, Sugarcane, I think, had another reveal, but it wasn't filmed. But she had like several reveals walking down that runway. People went up for her, right? But the first reveal was like, ah! Then the second was like, ah! And then she turned around and had a third, but you guys didn't see that. She killed it. She killed it. And I was like, baby, I wanted that on the season. That's why I hope a lot of these queens come back for All Stars, because I think the show in itself makes you nervous and you do certain things that you probably would not have normally done if you were in an environment where you felt comfortable. And not saying that the show makes them uncomfortable or puts them in an uncomfortable environment. I just think if you're not used to being on camera, being filmed 24/7 for the first time in your life, it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you act a certain way that you normally wouldn't act. A lot of times you show up, your representative shows up, and it's not really you. So a lot of times you're watching the show back like, why in the hell did I do that? It wasn't you. It was you working on autopilot out of fear because you were uncomfortable. So I think that's what happened. But what Sugarcane showed on that runway, I would have loved to have seen on the show. This is why I hope that she comes back for All Stars, because she has so much more to show us. Nina West is definitely probably coming back for All Stars because she has such a huge fan base, I think. And she brings people who normally don't, like Vangie, she brings people who normally do not watch Drag Race to the show. So I think they might want to continue to milk that for all it's worth. And if she does come back for All Stars, I can guarantee you her rate is going to be a lot greater than the other queens coming back, because she's a huge star at this point, or on her way to being a huge star. Now let's get into these intro videos. A carrier with facial hair. I wasn't ready. We didn't get the opportunity to see the intro videos. The only video we saw was Vangie's segment. I'll get to that later. But we didn't get to see that. So when I saw a carrier with facial hair, I was just like, sis, you walking around with this full beard and all that behind? Do you? Her intro video was fun and cute. I also liked her segment with her family. Her mother is very hilarious. Like, she had us rolling the entire time. You guys only got to see a snippet, but I left that show thinking that Akaria's mother should do stand-up. She was so like naturally funny, such a natural funny person, and she had us rolling. Then we get to Brooklyn's intro video. It was a little bit cringe. Like, I was just like, oh, I don't know. And this is why I probably think the crown ended up going to Evie, just because I love Brooklyn. I was rooting for Brooklyn, but Brooklyn lacks personality. She even said it. She's just very muted, and I think that comes from her training, where you have to be, you know, silent but deadly. When you are trained to voice yourself through your body, you're not really working on entertaining outwardly because you're doing all of your communication with your body. And I think that was Brooklyn's issue, and I think that cost her the crown. But let's talk about her mom. Her mom, once again, had us all in tears. Like, we were crying because she said this, and I don't think you guys got that. They cut her segment down, too. They cut a lot of these segments down due to timing, which I totally understand. But her mother said that she was struggling in her faith because she still is a very devout Christian, but she had a really hard time with her faith when she was raising Brooklyn because she was just like, I don't believe, or I couldn't fathom that God would give me this child to hate. You know, so she just could not understand it. And she was just like, that's when she made the comment that God gave you my children to raise me, to help, to mold and nurture me. And it wasn't the other way around. I've grown and I've learned so much from them. We were just crying. Mother just had us bawling, okay? And even Brooklyn was crying too, because you know, here she is having this moment with her mom in front of all of these people and just watching her mother's growth and knowing that she's responsible for her being here at this very moment. It was just a lot. It was just beautiful. Tears, honey. Tears. Guys, I'm so upset that you got cheated out of opulence. When they went to commercial and Mercedes and Kahana Montrese came out, I was just like, no, this was such a fun segment. Again, I know they cut it for time. But oh my goodness, Ru interviewed Kahana and Mercedes. They did the whole opulence. They talked about their viral sensation. They talked about their viral song. Missed such a fun moment. And we got to see a little bit more personality from Kahana, whose outfit, thank God for them HD cameras. That outfit looked sickening on TV. In person, she looked like, for anybody who has watched The Wiz, Mrs. Numbers. Straight out the garbage. I feel so bad. It just was not well made and she had to hold it the entire time. Great idea. Poor execution. Real quick, before we get into the other intro videos, can we talk about Michelle Visage? Like, you guys got such a much better explanation than we did. We didn't know what was going on because Michelle came out right before the show started. She said, hey guys, here's my tits, or what's left of them. Crickets. Because unless you follow her, I guess, nobody knew that she was struggling with her implants. So I didn't know. I didn't know her boobs were gone. I thought that she had just was wearing a really tight dress. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, especially when you're wearing a sports bra, it smashes them into like one weird looking titty. So I thought that that's what was going on. I didn't know that she had her implants removed. And then we get to this segment and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I wish they would have explained it better. We probably would have given her a much better reaction, but it was just a lot of us more giving a bigger reaction to Ru's jokes than actually knowing that that one of her implants made her sick. Just say that. We didn't know what was going on. And then the boob jokes, and we were like, should we laugh? And then Ru made a couple boob jokes. She's just like, you know what? Let me try another boob joke because I don't think that's going to go over. But it was awkward. But when they put it together, I'm like, okay. So it was a much better explanation on camera than what we got in the audience. So a lot of our reactions was confusion. So I know for sure that they reused audio from different places because we were like, should we laugh? Is this serious? Is this a skit? Like, we didn't know what was going on. Silky, chicken wings, collard greens. So funny. So funny. I will say this though. Her, the interview with her family. It's a little awkward. You guys didn't get to see all of it, but her mother was having a really hard time openly talking about her son, who's a drag queen. You know what I mean? Like, she really, you know, church, black Southern church lady was just struggling with it. Silky's brother, so much more receptive and accepting. Not saying that the mom wasn't accepting, but you can tell that she was struggling to talk to Ru about it because I think she was there as support. Black moms will support, but you know, trying to talk to it about Ru, because Ru wanted her to talk about it in an uplifting way about her being a drag queen and how far they have come even within their faith. And she couldn't really, you know, form how she was really feeling into words. So it was just like really broken up. It was a little cringy, a little awkward. Even so, Silky was like, Mom, spit it out. What are you trying to say? And one thing she did say that had us all laughing was just like, Silky has always been Silky. And she was talking about how it was really hard to like be this like church woman and have a child who's been out since she was a toddler. They were like, Silky was never in. never ever ends. Silky came out the womb out, okay? So she was just like, you're dealing with this child who knows who they are and tells the world who they are, but you're in this like community, this religion, this church who says no, but your child is saying yes. So it was a good segment, but I get why they cut it out, because eventually we were able to get there, but it was still very awkward because she was still struggling in that moment to even just voice it. I knew. I was just like, this is not making it to TV. I knew. I said, they ain't putting this segment in the show. So when Silky's part was like 2 seconds and it was more of the brother who was very more accepting, I knew that's how the viewers were going to get that segment. Then the old school queens returned. Can I tell y'all, everybody loved the old school queens. Raja. When Raja walked out, Raja, can I be real with you? Raja is the Naomi Campbell of RuPaul's Drag Race. She is Naomi freaking Campbell, because when Raja walked out, crazy. People have went up for Nina West. People have went up for Honey Davenport. People have went up for Vangie. Raja, respect. It was, and she just knew it. And she kept her, Naomi. That's the Naomi of Drag Race. So Vangie's segment, we were actually able to watch it as well. So funny. So funny. She's just a natural. She, like a Carrier's mother, she is a natural comedian. Just really funny. That's why I said she doesn't need the crown, because she's already won. Because here she is, an eliminated queen, has been able to come back a second time, has continued to be a viral sensation, has her own freaking segment on this show where she was eliminated. Ain't nobody checking for you. You got eliminated. Why do you have a freaking segment on this show? Because she's ratings gold. Period. End of story. She was so funny. Had the crowd rolling, even when she was messing up, because they had to film that segment a few times because she kept on messing up her lines. She kept on coming in early. But even in her mistakes, it was still comedy. Still comedy. Even her and Ru had a really fun banter. And Silky mentioned recently that she's working on a reality TV show. I don't know if it's concerning Ru and like other viral sensation drag queens. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised though. I wouldn't be surprised if it's some show with Rupaul and Vangie as a cast member, probably Nina West, probably some popular drag queen show that's produced by Ru. I wouldn't be surprised. Or like I told y'all, a cooking show that Ru produces. Silky's going to get all of that. Silky is, I know some of y'all hate to see it, Silky's a star, guys. She is a star. She's going to get great opportunities. Who is she rep by? She's probably rep by one of them big agencies. I can see it. I'm going to be honest here. I wanted her to wear something different. I wish Evie Ali would have wore the outfit that she wore on the last episode before the reunion. I wish she would have wore that. I have to be honest here. I love Evie. I did not like any of her looks from the grand finale. She killed it at the reunion. She killed it on the last episode. And then she shows up in this like Lady Gaga meat dress that I wanted more. I'm like, this is a finale. We want looks upon looks. Because this is the grand finale, everybody's watching this. If they haven't watched it from the beginning, they're watching this episode, right? Because everybody wants to know who's going to be the winner. And I don't know. I wanted her to wear something just amazing. And I just wasn't amazed by this at all. Having said that, I was amazed by her father, Daddy Otley. I wasn't ready. I was just like, ooh. Hello, sir. How old is her father? Evie. About to have a new stepmom. What's up, babe? What's up, babe? I will say this. They kept her segment the way it was. Like, she made those comments about her parents sitting together. Like, she couldn't believe it. Like, everything that she said and her parents said was kept in. So now let's talk about the lip syncs. Remember, I think like 2 reviews ago, I told you guys that Silky made the dumbest decision of her entire existence on Drag Race that night. That was the decision, which is why, and I was told that the show wasn't rigged from the top. I was told that the show is not rigged, but we were in the audience like, this don't make no sense that Silky would choose Brooklyn. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. But when Ru asked her who she wanted to lip sync against and she picked Brooklyn, Brooklyn was shocked. Brooklyn was like, girl, you serious? Like, we were all like, I was so upset. I was like, and listen, I did not screen this, okay? I was a guest of production. I kept my composure, right? But I did say out loud, not screaming, Silky, what are you doing? I forgot I was sitting in the Silky fan base section. So one of her fans gonna turn around to me, and say, well, she trying to go big or go home. It's now or never. And I was like, well, it's about to be never. And my sister was like, Nikki. I was just like, this is such a dumb decision. If you want to win, don't go after Brooklyn. Like, make sure you can get to the end, and that's where you hold all of your good moves for the end. So me and her fan is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was just like, well, that's my opinion, and I said what I said. He was like, and I did too. It turned around. We became friends after that, though. Like, we busted up, like, after. But that little part, listen, I was like, I got my opinions, too. And I can say what I want to say. I don't care what this section is. Like, that was a dumb decision. And I stand by it. Silky made the dumbest decision of her entire existence on Drag Race by picking Brooklyn to lip sync against. You saw her lip sync. We saw you lip sync, Ma. No, this is not the time for you to like challenge yourself. I hate when people do that. When people get to the end and it's just like, you know what? Let me challenge myself. No, not when $100,000 is on the line. What are you challenging yourself for? But I will say this. Silky came on this season to do what she came to do. She said, I want to get a reality TV show out of this. And she got it. I don't think Silky was ever concerned about that crown. I think Silky used this show to build a platform for her so that she can become a reality TV star. I'm not hating. I actually respect it. If you're going to come on reality TV, I say this every time, you better get something out of it. Now, there are queens who are probably more popular than Silky, but are they on a reality TV show? Listen, if you're getting on reality TV, milk it for all it's worth, because they're going to milk you for all you worth. Anyway, Silky makes this dumb decision and goes after Brooklyn. I will say this, homegirl gave it. Even when she started rolling around. Even when she started rolling around on that stage, the only thing is that her wigs were cheaply made and the wig reveals were so cheap. Her first wig reveal was when she was turned around. Like, she turned around, took off the jacket, and took off the wig. And we're like, Silky, everything has to be done to the audience. Brooklyn, this is the thing. When Silky turned around and took off her jacket and took off her wig, I was like, Brooklyn got it, right? Then Brooklyn takes off her shoes and gets caught up in the straps. So she was struggling a bit to get out of the straps, and then I got a little bit nervous. And then, I don't know, I'm still Team Brooklyn, but it looked like she didn't know the words. I was like, oh, sis, what's going on here? But they start going back and forth at it, doing splits and spinning or whatever. And at one point, I'm just like, I think it's Brooklyn. I think it's Silky. I think it's, like, I didn't know. But when Rue finally revealed that Brooklyn was moving forward, I was just like, okay, I was fine with it. Listen, Silky wanted to challenge herself. I would not have done that, but she challenged herself and she's now out of the competition. Girl, you should have went after Akaria. I would have did that. I would have went after Akaria, and then it was me and Evie Oddly at the end. Baby, it's better to be first runner-up than the first one out. Monet X Change looked so great in person. She looked a little, mannish on camera, but in person, when she walked out in that yellow dress, the lights were hitting her dress in just the perfect way. Like, it was hitting the sparkles. She just sashayed down that runway and she looked absolutely amazing. We were like, Monet! Still, no boobs. She just never gonna give us a boob. It was no surprise to anyone that Nina West was Miss Congeniality. When she did the meh, after Ru was like, so how do you feel? Meh. Hilarious. This is why I keep on telling you guys, she is going to be a huge star. She's naturally funny, works well on camera, has a great social media following. Nina West, one to watch. And if she comes back on All Stars, that's her crown. Promise you. Let's talk about Evie and Akaria. Akaria loves blue. She looked great though. She really, really loves that color blue though. When she came out and Evie came out, I knew that Evie was going to win this, right? Just because when Akaria walked out, the audience, when Evie walked out, screams, people were going crazy. I knew that, I'm thinking as a producer, she's the one to choose. She's the fan favorite. She's the one to go with, even if she pulls out garbage, okay? And that's what I felt like I got from Evie. I was so disappointed in the outfit because the outfit constricted Evie. Guys, she was trying to do so much stuff with her hands. She couldn't really do anything. The boots, she couldn't really do anything. Did you guys even see the Free Britney panties? She had Free Britney on her panties, but you couldn't really see it because she had all this stuff on her hands and she couldn't get it up all the way. It's just, I don't know. I would have, her garments. That's the only thing that bothered me about Evie this finale, her garments. I wish she just would have had better garments. When she had all of that on, I was just like, I hope there's a reveal. I didn't know that the Britney panties were going to be the reveal. I wish she would have taken all that stuff off of her arm and just really allow herself to be able to move. She wore 2 outfits during very important lip syncs that cost her mobility. I didn't think it was smart. She still won, but I was still just like, girl, you can't play at the last minute like this. Let's get to the final lip sync. Aquaria looked great. She looked great. When she walked out, I'm like, money. Home girl is getting money, okay? However, she could not walk in them heels, y'all. She had like these heels that had like an invisible heel. Like her shoes, they were like all platform, but no heel. So she was struggling the whole time to stand up. There were so many times she was about to fall off. So she had to keep on walking, like kind of like a crawl walk, because she could not keep her balance. And I'm like, sis, you didn't practice in these shoes before you walked out on this runway? She could not stand still. Every time the camera cut, she would just like almost fall back and then she would get back up. And I'm like, why would you wear these shoes? Like, I think she didn't really need them, to be quite honest with you, because unless you were there, you didn't see that she was wearing an invisible heel. Like, she could have wore just a bad shoe and still killed it. She didn't need it. But Aquaria's from Philly, so she's extra. I get it. So she had to go with the invisible heel, but it just wasn't needed. And it constricted her a lot during that segment. Like, every time cut, she was like falling over, about to knock down the damn set. I was like, Aquaria, sis, no. But she looked great. Great. Y'all know I'm Team Brooklyn. Still was rooting for her. I knew she was going to have a reveal with that big coat. Evie comes out with this headpiece. I know you guys like the headpiece, right? I know you guys like the big ball gown. The problem with this, you have this big ball gown on, no reveal. You got this big headpiece. I don't think you guys saw, but it was a very heavy. So a lot of her stuff she could only do from like this and like from the waist up, because it was so heavy. So she had to keep her neck straight because she didn't want it to fall over. Even when she went down backwards, we were all afraid that it was going to fall off. Anyway, their lip sync. Brooklyn was doing a lot. I loved her reveal when she had on that glass, like crushed glass jumpsuit. Loved it. My only problem with Brooklyn, again, I felt like she was struggling with the words. I'm like, when it cut to her, I'm like, Brooklyn, is everything okay? But going into this, especially with the audience reaction, I kind of knew it was going to be Evie. Y'all know I wanted it to be Brooklyn, but the way that audience responded to that girl, my God, today, you kind of knew it was her crown. Everybody just, every time she walked out, even when we were cut, when she would walk out, Evie! They were just screaming her name every time she walked out. So, you know, I kind of knew, you know. So when it was announced that Evie was the winner, I wasn't shocked. Y'all know I love Brooklyn. That's my girl. I was rooting for her since day one. But yeah, you know, I'm thinking about, if this was my show, right, I would pick Evie. I would pick somebody who my fan base really responds to, who the viewers really respond to. It's a TV show, guys. People really love Evie. The viewers love her. And also, even Brooklyn said it. She's not the personality queen. And you have to think about, how is this queen going to be during press? Is this somebody I can send to represent my brand? Now, Brooklyn can do that. She absolutely can do that. But Brooklyn is such a royal. You need somebody, especially with this kind of, especially with reality TV and this kind of fandom and this kind of show, you need somebody who's a personality. You know, no T-girl. What's the T-girl? Let's go, girl. You know, Evie is definitely that. She has a lot of opinions, and it was just time. It was time for a weird queen. We've had a lot of glam and comedy queens for a couple seasons. It's a weird queen's time again. The soil has been set. It was time for a weird queen to uproot herself and take the crown. So I'm not shocked by it. I'm actually not disappointed. I really enjoyed all the queens. I really, really did. But I was always rooting for Brooklyn, who was just going to be fine no matter what. No matter what. And I do think there's still hope for her in Vangie. you know, but Brooklyn is probably dating Todrick, okay? Todrick love himself some Brooklyn. And you know, Vangie was her first boyfriend, so she's probably just like, you know, I need to date more and see what's out there. They may come back together again because there was obviously love there. But congrats, Yvie Oddly. I will say this, guys. The ending that you saw with Yvie's final words, that was a reshoot. I knew who the final two were going to be, but they didn't let us know who the winner was. They shot two alternate endings. They shot an ending with Brooklyn winning, and they shot an ending with Yvie winning. And even in the endings, right, with Brooklyn, everybody was like, yay, congrats. With Yvie, people went bananas. So, you know, we kind of knew who had the crown, right? Anyway, so each queen gets a moment to say something. So Brooklyn said her thing. And then before I even get to Yvie, the reason why they do this is because before they would have people who would leak things on Reddit. Even when we were filming, there was somebody in there that was leaking spoilers on Reddit, and they had to stop production and they were trying to find that person. I think her name was Abigail of the something, but they were like, because she was posting pictures, whoever it was posting pictures, and every picture she posted, they would send a producer to go find where that angle of the picture came from to go find this person. So we had to stop several times so they can find this person. Eventually they found her and the person got put out, but it was insane. They started by saying, we know that you're posting on Reddit, just stop. Then they said it again. They said, okay, so you're still posting on Reddit. If we find you, you're getting kicked out. Then they came back again and said the person's name. It was just like, we are watching you on Reddit post spoilers about this show. We will find you and we will put you out. Then they came back and said, where is she? Then they started looking for the angle wherever the pictures were. It was so much drama. That's why they filmed two alternate endings. So when it came time for Yvie, Brooklyn gave a very pageant answer, right? Yvie. Ru, any final words you want to say to your fans? Yvie, can I have a baby to eat? Ru was like, oh no, girl. I've had a successful show for 10 seasons. You will not get me taken off the air. We're going to do that again. We hollered. Because after Yvie said it, we were all shocked. For me, I was like, there's no way they're going to keep that in the show. So when Ru broke the ice and was like, oh no, girl, this is not happening. She was like, we just got all these images and you think I'm going to let you snatch this show off the air? Let's reshoot this one again. So the second final words, the reshoot is what you guys got. We got the baby ending. I was crying, but Yvie gonna be Yvie. Congrats, Yvie. You had a great season. You did the damn thing. You worked for it and you got the crown. I look forward to seeing your drag being elevated. I look forward to seeing where you are going to go as a queen. You are a breath of fresh air within the drag race winner circle. Congrats to you, my dear. And that is it for me. Thank you so much, guys, for just checking on the sister. When I started this channel, I was unemployed. I had no idea I was going to be booked and busy. So I've been trying to keep up, and you guys have just been so gracious and so kind to me. Thank you for also letting me know that you want a review and that it's time for another review. I don't mind it. It lets me know that you like the content that I'm putting up here on YouTube, and I totally appreciate it. Let me know what you think about this episode in the comment section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you sometime soon for All Stars. Love you guys. Bye.